Welcome back, you world champions. Welcome to it. It's your feel-good kickstart to a brand new week as the champions of the rugby world. So after a hard-fought Rugby World Cup campaign and a very strategic one at that, the Springboks were crowned the 2019 champions, winning that cup for a third time in history. Celebrations obviously started on the pitch straight after our talismanic captain, Siya Kolisi, lifted aloft the Webb Ellis trophy, but the celebrations continued. I would imagine they are still continuing, to be honest, but that locker room looked like the place to be. In fact, so much so that even royalty stepped in. Carl Lewis, you world champion, obviously the victory, 32-12, kind of showed just how much of a dominance. You don't normally see a scoreline like that in a final, so you expected celebrations. Did we expect Faf de Klerk, who's been a talking point throughout, to literally disrobe and enjoy it? But kudos to Prince Harry for stepping into the space as well, man.
Faf de Klerk is my spirit animal for greeting the royals in his underwear, South African underwear as well.
Full on, man.
I love that. I love that moment.
I love the fact Piers Morgan tweeted afterwards saying the final indignity, England's final indignity. But they certainly earned it, and I think that's the joy of a World Cup like this. And I think, again, kudos to Japan for hosting something that really united the world, brought everyone to a level space, but it just kind of brings everyone down to a human level. And you kind of felt that the world was celebrating this win as much as we were.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the international pieces on The Guardian, The Telegraph, English papers. I mean, I think they kind of realized what this means for South Africa. In the context of our country, I mean, rugby should not be here to save our country, but like Rassie said, it should inspire hope.
Yeah.
Rugby should inspire and create hope, and I think that's exactly what it does. And I think the world realizes that perhaps this was destiny for South Africa. We needed this.
Part of a fairy tale story when you think of how fast the Springboks have come in the last 2 years. Of course, a big part of that has been the personnel and how well certain players have responded to Rassie. One player who's undoubtedly grabbed his opportunity by the scruff of the neck, Pieter-Steph du Toit, the most tackles of any South African at the World Cup. But just throughout the Rugby Championship, he has been amazing. Of course, he is the new player of the year. Let's hear from the man.
The World Rugby Men's 15th Player of the Year 2019 in association with MasterCard is Pieter-Steph du Toit.
Yes, man. It must be said, the Springboks looking pretty fresh the day after I would imagine, big celebrations. But Pieter-Steph beating out, the likes of Tom Curry, who's been one of those revelations and new discovery. Alan Wynne-Jones, lifetime achievement there. Ardie Savea, another brilliant star for the All Blacks. Joe Tofotia and Cheslin Colby. This could have gone to Cheslin with that try in the final. I thought that might have been the tipping point. Do you think he is the best player in the world?
I think he definitely deserves the crown. Remember, he is the current SA Rugby Player of the Year for last year. So for the past 18 months, Pieter-Steph du Toit has been absolute titan for South Africa. Like, even in Super Rugby for the Stormers, he averaged 10 tackles and 10 carries per game. That work rate is unheard of. He made the most tackles in the Rugby Championship out of everyone. And this World Cup, again, he scored our first try. He assisted our last try, and his tackle count was just ridiculous. So, yeah, he is a big part of our engine room and why our forward pack is as dominant as it is. And he's the most humble man as well. Every time I've interviewed him in the past, I almost feel like we are the celebrity and he's the one.
And he's still a youngster. He's still got so much left to prove. Of course, Rassie and Rasmus announced that he would be resigning as Springbok coach, but he certainly earned the opportunity to relax just a little bit on the back of the Rugby Championship and, of course, a World Cup win. He was named as the Coach of the Year.
Winner of the World Rugby Coach of the Year 2019 is Resi Erasmus.
Ah, shame, poor Richie. He's had a tough draw this World Cup. But to put it in perspective, the Rugby Championship is massive. Getting the double is massive. Getting a third World Cup for the Springboks is massive. But I think most importantly, sticking to your guns and proving yourself to be a tactical mastermind, which he did, not just in this World Cup, but from the beginning of the transformation, inspiring and enabling Sia to be the captain that he was. He is the best coach of the year, undoubtedly.
No. Yeah, like you said, from where we came and from where we are now, he deserves all the plaudits. And yeah, and I think we should be grateful that, yes, he's resigned from the head coach but he's still the director of rugby.
There,
so
yeah.
Fans, don't worry. He will still have a major influence on our rugby. And I think this just proves that he needs to be influencing our rugby because he's a big picture thinker. You know, he's not, I think he's process driven. He thinks about the long term. He's not about short term results. And that's the type of person I believe.
He will have a succession plan, which wasn't necessarily the case when he came into power.
I mean, in his post match press conference, he was already talking about the Lion series, how they need to prepare for that. I'm like, just enjoy the moment, Rassie.
And enjoy the moment, Siyamthanda. What an absolute champion. The fact that he used the opportunity to be the captain, to marshal the entire South Africa behind this win. You almost want to say this has been a PR exercise par excellence as well. The way the brand has been managed, everything could not have gone better for the Springboks.
But we say that, yes. But if we had lost it, I think the amount of pressure on Sia, obviously because he's carrying so much hope. In terms of this country, there's a lot of pressure on him, and for him and his team to deliver that on Saturday, just all the credit to Rassie and Sia. Congratulations on keeping your team focused. Because, I mean, there was a lot of pressure. South Africa was truly behind them, and we wanted them to kind of be our good news story of 2019. And they did it, and yeah. Kudos to the leadership.
Yeah, they did it in style, and they did it down to the last man. Every single player, whether they were on the bench in the squad, even those that flew home early and flew back to help to inspire the troops, every player, every man in that and woman in that management team played their part. And of course, every one of us sitting at home nervously chewing our fingernails. What a beautiful way to see South Africa, I think, finally just get something positive to grasp onto, and hopefully you are feeling that this morning. So can we get one last resounding cheer for the Springboks? You're a world champion.